I got answers, you got questions. Your listeners, your watchers, they need this. They need to be fed right now with some education so they can quit the bullshit.
What I do in hip-hop is primarily, I'm an MC. That's how I got my start. But I've also had my hand in promoting plenty of different shows and getting word out there of different artists, different labels going on, different events. You know, I've worn the promoter hat quite a few times. But I primarily got into it through doing shows, through MCing and everything.
I sing a variety of different kinds of music in a variety of different settings. I have a small group, there's about 15 of us, and we do, like I say, a variety of different kinds of vocals in a variety of settings. We do festivals, we do nursing homes, assisted livings, and I listen to a lot of music.
Yeah, I'm very multifaceted, definitely not a one-dimensional human being. I'm the president of A&R for Sound Records and Entertainment via Universal, based out of Seattle. I'm the managing director of Wu-Tang's label Think Differently Music Group, based out of Battery Park City, New York. I run my own company called Holy Toledo Productions. It's a subsidiary of the Academy. And I'm also an MC. You may know me as M80 or 1-6 of the group The Almighty, with Killer Priest, C-Rays Walls, Bronze Nazareth, 5-Star Sun One, you know, so I'm always working. Right out of Indianapolis, Indiana, worldwide traveler.
I make records, man. Underground shit for, you know, for everybody. I don't care what color you are, green, black, purple, red, whatever. If you from Mars, I probably got a hit in the back for you too, you know what I mean?
Hip-hop is a music genre and a lifestyle. I mean, and they can intersect, and they can be for the good or they could be for the bad.
Anytime a style of expression starts, it's a reflection of what's going on, what that person's experience is or that culture's experience is at that moment in time.
For me, hip-hop is a lifestyle. Like I'm so ingrained in the culture of hip-hop that I can't do anything else. Like I've been successful as an artist. I knew from a very early age the route that I wanted to pursue in working in the business of music, and went and obtained my law degree, so I have a doctorate. No one can take that away from me. No one can take any of these plaques away from me and my successes as an A&R and as an artist. So to me, hip hop is definitely a way of life. This is what, you know, puts food on my table, the roof over my head, you know, the car that I drive, the clothes that I wear, like every ounce of me is hip hop.
I think rap is a music genre. I think hip hop is a lifestyle. It is who you are, it is where you're from, it's your belief system, your mode of dress, your way of speaking, your manner of walking. It's the reason why you get up in the morning and brush your teeth. It's the reason why you make sure your shirt is nice and pressed and crisp and there's no stains or creases on it. It's the reason why you have the crease down the center of your jeans. It's the reason why you take a toothbrush and Windex to your white sneaks every single night and put it back in the box when you stuff the paper back in the toe. It's the reason why you're on point.
But you ask that question to the next man, you know, carbon copy of another carbon copy of a carbon copy type. And yeah, hip hop may just be a hobby. It may just be something that they do, you know, and they're not really trying to do the math and the science on the history. So it's like, you know, those are the cats I can't even acknowledge. Like, they can't see me, I can't see them. But to me, hip hop is hip hop. It is what it is, and I can't be anything else right now. I know I can fall back on my degrees. I can always enter into politics. I know I'm an amazing public speaker. I can definitely teach the youth as a professor, this and that. But at the end of the day, it's always gonna come back to what did I accomplish today in the name of hip hop.
It ain't about having the biggest and the best. It's about taking care of what you do have so you can elevate yourself to the next level.
I think it's both. I think that it feels like it began as a lifestyle and has evolved more into a genre. I think that it began as most music does, as a way of expression, but it was an expression that was an entire body expression. It was how you dress, how you look, your walk. It was an outward mode in it. At least from those of us looking in on it, I think it felt more like a lifestyle than a music genre. But it is evolving, and I think that's being seen.
To me, that's what hip hop is. It's not just going out and buying the latest sneaker or car or rim or whatever it is, because money is about the opposite of hip hop as far as I'm concerned. In the beginning, when it started out, it was a bunch of poor kids who couldn't afford instruments, couldn't afford lessons. They couldn't go do the shit that richer kids could do because they had the extra money.
The genre of rap came from the hip hop culture. And what is the hip hop culture? Breaking, graffiti, MC, and DJ. And the debatable fifth element of actually doing the act.
Yeah, I think when hip hop first became visual to society, it's been around a lot longer than that, but when it first became visual and became something like that, I think, yes, I did feel that way. It felt like a lifestyle, although I did always recognize the attempt at expression, and that's what it was and was about.
I do not believe that it is solely a music genre. To do so, I think discounts hip-hop.
Hip-hop as a culture has had a significant effect on society.
I think it's had both negative and positive effect. I think that the early hip-hop had a very violent tone because it was an attempt to express some anger, or at least that's what it felt like to those looking in. And I think it had some negative impact in that way. I think youth grabbed onto that anger and grabbed onto what they saw as the lifestyle, the dress and the mode of expression, and clung to that.
If you look at popular music, it dominates. 10 years ago, you would have never heard it in places you hear it now. In your local country bar, you might even hear some rap music.
She got a honky-tonk, badonka-donk. I mean, come on. It affects everything in society. I mean, even like country music have heavier beats now and less singing as there is sometimes rhythmic talking. And you can make the argument that that's heavily hip-hop influenced.
You, in the darkest corners of the globe, you might hear hip-hop music.
I think it is having some positive impact in that it is a means of expression that people might not have found a way to express themselves otherwise. And therefore, that's always good. Whether you're expressing whatever emotion you're expressing, that expression is good. And so I think in that way, it has helped a generation express themselves that didn't have a way to express themselves before.
You got more kids that are in, music than fine art, and that's for real. Not to mention, they capitalized on commercials and stuff like that. Hip hop and soft drinks, and hip hop and weight loss.
I believe it's had a tremendous effect because the fact that people who came from such means can become a marketable thing and a successful money-making thing. And that's really kind of the downside of it because it has been commercialized. It has been ripped off pretty much. Because I mean, if you look at it, there's McDonald's commercials with people rapping in it. That ain't hip-hop. I mean, some might think that it is, or they try to speak to that crowd to get the attention and I get the marketing standpoint of it. But that dumbs down the culture, and it's kind of an insult.
It's good and bad, man. These artists and everyone else, they don't understand, like, okay, approach me and let's put all the A&R stuff to the side and whatnot, and my business dealing in music. It's like, as an artist, I'm representing the business of M80. And you got it twisted with the, oh, I gotta be fly and get fresh. Like, granted, yes, like, you gotta look good, you gotta have that image, but at the same time, I look at people, like, every time you buy a pair of shoes, that's 1,000 flyers. You wanna, every time you pay a month's rent, granted, you gotta pay rent, but it's like you're doing stupid shit. Say you go to a club, you pop a couple bottles, that's 1,000 CDs. I look at everything in an economic standpoint of how to better my situation, those that are coming up with me, and in turn, so we can all just be happy with what we're doing at the end of the day. There's always people with the, oh, I'm getting money. Dude, these people don't have money like that. No black dude in the hood, or white guy, or Mexican, or Latino, or whatever, is driving a Lamborghini in the projects. That shit doesn't happen. Like, business, people that work in the business of music got the real money. I'll show you Wu-Tang money. I'll show you Wu-Tang money. You don't even know. I live in Indianapolis. You guys are clowns. All right, what? What are you even talking about? And I don't talk about money in any of my songs. Cause it's like imagine a real drug dealer or a real gangster being like, I'm gonna be a rapper. And I'm gonna start talking about, no, they don't talk about that, man. The real gangsters know who they are. Like, I know I'm successful. So imagine me making a song like, yeah, I'm the shit. Like, that's pointless. That's for nobodies, that's for tomfoolery fools.
The next 5 to 10 years, hip hop will be dead. Just kidding.
Where do I see hip hop going in the next 5 to 10 years? I don't think it'll implode or ever go away. It ain't dead, it ain't dying.
The way that it's been going, I don't like it. The way that it's been going, it's gonna get even more commercialized, even more dumbed down, even more spread out and sterilized and non-focused and blanketing the earth with mediocrity.
I'm good with where music is going. Like, you know, everyone that wants to keep, you know, on the cookie cutters, you know, stuff, like, that's fine. But don't complain when it's not taking you to where you want to go.
It's changing, it's evolving. You wouldn't even recognize it as hip hop. Some of the founding fathers of hip hop, you know, we wouldn't even recognize what's being passed off as hip hop now.
When you turn on the TV and you hear the word, okay, now we're going to see some hip hop, that won't be what you see. That's already starting, that's already beginning. You've got, you know, So You Think You Can Dance that has the hip hop style. And you have, you know, some of the talent shows where they're showing the more, not mild side of hip hop, but the less aggressive side of hip hop.
That's what hip hop does, you know what I'm saying? Pick it up, you know, brush yourself off.
Hip hop on the real is taking that 360. We're getting back to the real shit, like the real golden era, but it's not just like we're trying to relive the past, we're inventing a new golden era.
With what I'm seeing and hearing right now, I think that, number one, I think it's here to stay, and there were a lot of us, and me included, but a lot of people that thought it would fade. But because of the way it's evolving, it is taking the best aspects, the fact that it is an expression, and it's a way of expressing that speaks to people that are hearing and that are embracing it. And it is starting to evolve in such a way that, yes, you still have the, what do they used to call it, the gangster rap. You still have that end, but you have the other end of the spectrum, such as with High Hopes, where he takes a motivational message and does it in the hip-hop style. And so I think, number one, that's more palatable to society in general, and therefore there's not going to be as much pressure against the hip-hop world. And I think it then speaks to a wider range of people.
Can I describe hip-hop in 5 words?
Honor, honor,
Ruthless,
Evolution,
spectacular,
love,
explosive,
savvy,
respect,
stimulating,
oh,
life,
poetry,
independence.
It's the only 5 words you need to know. Positive energy activates constant elevation. Peace. When you can keep it peace, people are gonna respect you.
I didn't choose hip-hop, hip-hop chose me.
If you are not in the lifestyle, there's absolutely no way that you can make hip hop. You cannot make hip hop that anyone can feel if you are not in the lifestyle. That's bottom number 1, tops.
Depending on what you listen to, like everyone, even if you're an artist, you still gotta be a fan, you know, of your favorites. Like you gotta have those that inspire you to wanna do great things.
It's very easy for hip hop or any, you know, and other things to be discounted simply because of where it came from or because who is doing it or that kind of thing. And I think that as it evolves, it will be an interesting journey to watch.